Second half action. The Northern Huskies deferred to start the ball game. They will receive. Matt Scheffler will do the kicking for Port Huron High. Deep for Northern, Ryan Porty, Norm Cosgrove, and Brian Hampton. And Jim?
Well, if you're a Big Red fan, Eric, as far as stats, you don't have a lot to brag about. So far, 55 yards offensively for the Big Reds, 182 yards for the Huskies, Eric.
Line drive kick comes down to one bounce to Cosgrove at the 10. And they're going to down the ball right there as his knee touched the turf, and that's where Northern will put the ball in play. First down and 10. And I know that Norm Cosgrove a little bit frustrated with that.
Yeah, Eric, on the 10-yard line. Catch you up on a little more of the stats, Eric. Port Huron High had 3 first downs. Port Huron Northern had 8. They had 43 yards rushing versus 76 yards for the Huskies. 12 yards passing for the Big Reds, 106 for the Huskies. Pass completions 1 for 2 for Port Huron High and 6 for 8 for the Huskies.
Northern, first down and 10 at their own 9. They move from our right to our left. The Big Reds defending the south end zone here at Memorial Stadium. A capacity crowd here at Memorial Stadium enjoying this crosstown rivalry. And the Big Reds having to make some adjustments here for the second half.
Oh, I'm sure they're going to have to, Eric. Eric, talking about the big crowd, I ran into a couple of friends of ours over there. I went to get us coffee, ran into a friend of yours that you used to work with, Debbie Hillock, and she's sitting over there with a friend of mine that works with me, Don Kinney. I think they're holding hands over there on the side.
It's second down and 8 now, the ball marked at the Northern 11. In motion is Gladchen. Ball is given off to Gladchen. He's out to about the 15, where it'll bring up third down.
It would be interesting to see what the coaches had to say, especially in the Big Red locker room, Eric. If you're a Husky in that Husky locker room, I'm sure what Craig Delkey said to his players was, fellas, just keep on executing. You're doing fine.
It's third down and 4 now for Northern. The ball right at their own 15. Thanks for the coffee, boy. This tastes good on this cold and damp night.
Well, take the chill out of us.
Here we go. Big third down play for Northern. In motion is Kovacs to his right. Hanton play action, rolls to his left, cuts up the seam, and he will have the first down as he's out to the 20-yard line. Let's see where they spot the ball. It is a first down for Northern, and the Huskies continue to move the ball.
Anthony Edwards and Doug Warren on that tackle, Eric. And again, like I spoke earlier in the telecast, the thing that they wanted to do is keep Hanton in the pocket. Do not let him roll.
First down and 10 from the 22.
A little bit of a defensive change there, Eric. Looks like you're going... Looks like pretty much like a... Oh, geez, maybe a disguise 5-2.
In motion is Porty to his left. Hanton's pass out into the flat, incomplete. Intended for Ryan Porty. In on the coverage was David Schultz for Port Huron High. Clock will stop with 9:34 to go in the third quarter. Northern 21, Port Huron High 7.
Well, I'm sorry to say, Eric, I don't have individual stats because with the limited amount of time that we have at halftime and trying to get us a coffee up here to warm up, I just wasn't able to be able to get that for you.
Well, I will certainly forgive you this week. You could make it up to me next week. Obviously, Jim, it's always a pleasure to work with you. You really are the workhorse. You're the guy that does all the research during the week. I just have to sit here and open my big mouth.
Well, I got to pass the compliments on to the coaching staff of both teams, Eric. They're very, very cooperative and giving me stuff to be able to use.
That's the quick pass across the middle that Northern had tried earlier in the ball game. This time it's complete to Jameson out to the 30-yard line, where it's going to be third down and 2.
That particular play, Eric, is very, very hard to defense, Eric, that quick slant-in pass there. It doesn't give the cornerback a chance at all to be able to get position on the ball at all. The only thing he's going to have to try to do is make sure that they don't break it for a long one.
Well, the key for Port Huron High is for their defense to hold the Huskies, and obviously the Big Red offensive machine has been sputtering.
Well, as it has all season so far, Eric.
Kovacs is in motion. Play action. Hanton rolls to his left, and this time
Pulled down by Chris Duncan here, Eric.
They do contain him, but it will be a first down. From this vantage point, let's see. The officials are talking it over, and they will have
looks
a
like they might want a
measurement.
measurement. Yep.
From my vantage point, Jim, it looks like the Huskies might be doing it again here.
Well, Eric, so far in the first half, to give you a little statistic of what the heck happened to the Big Reds. Offensively, Eric, they were only able to run 18 plays in that first half, only 6 in the second quarter. Not a very good statistic if you're a Big Red fan.
And it is another Northern first down and 10 at the 31. Northern's big play offense, capitalizing on a couple mistakes for the Big Reds penalty-wise, leading to really that was the key play in that 98-yard drive.
Yeah, Eric, the Big Reds defense had them stopped where they were going to be able to receive the punt. Was still, I believe, around over 5 minutes on the clock, and at that particular time the score was 14-7.
Jamison and Hall are the wideouts. In motion is Porty. Hanton looking to his left. Now he steps to his right, and he's going to be hemmed in.
By Doug Warren here.
Number 70, Dougie Warren, in on the sack for Port Huron High. And that's something that hasn't happened that often tonight, nor all season.
No, and that's Doug Warren's second sack of the year, Eric.
Clock running inside 8 minutes and counting third quarter. Northern 21, Port Huron High 7. Ball at the 29, loss of 2. It's second down and 12. Porty is in motion to his left. Hanton on a quarterback draw across the 30, fights his way forward to maybe the 34.
Great effort on Brian's part there, Eric. He just would not go down and turn something into about a 4-yard gain.
It's a pickup of 4. The ball is marked at the 35. Third down and 7.
Well, we got that ugly guy on the marker again tonight, Eric, on the down marker on the down marker.
He's a pillar here at Memorial Stadium. He's been here since they opened this place, I think.
Don McIver, you couldn't move him out of that spot if you wanted to, I don't think. Certainly not if he didn't want you to.
Henderson and Jamison now are the wideouts. In motion is Kovacs. Hampton throws, I'll get it right here in just a minute. Brian Hanton throws into the flat, incomplete, intended for Jamison. It'll bring up now 4th and 7 in a punting situation for Northern. And with a little luck here, perhaps maybe the Big Reds have held and will force Northern for their first punt of the night.
Big Reds has got to get something going offensively, Eric, and with the score being 21-7, Coach Zilke is not going to gamble with that particular field position and that particular yardage for the first down.
Hanton's kick, high end over end kick, comes down to it's dropped and picked up by Johnston at his own 26. Give credit to Joe Johnson for some quick hands.
Yeah, he just tried to move a little too soon, but then he was able to bring it back down. A turnover right there, Eric, would have been disaster for the Reds.
The ball's marked short of the 34, where it's first down and 10, Port Huron High, moving from our left to our right, and the Northern Huskies defending the north end zone here at Memorial Stadium.
If the Big Reds can get a score quickly, Eric, they're right back in this ball game because we still have a lot of game to play. We're 6 minutes into the third quarter, but they need a score, Eric.
Well, the defense did their job. They held them in check, forced a punt. Now the offensive unit takes over 1st and 10 from their own 34. In motion is Gilbert. Carpenter, play action pass. Looks, throws out in the flat. It is caught.
Yeah, he's going to be down, Eric, where he dropped his knee down there. Caught by McIntyre, Jim McIntyre.
Just lost his footing, though. It's going to be a loss on the play of about 7. We'll call it second down and 17.
McIntyre coming into this game here, he's caught 6 passes for 111 yards for an 18-yard average. Not too bad when he does get the ball.
2nd and 16 from the 27. Carpenter looks to his right, pass complete to Ashford. Ashford looking for some help, and he's hemmed in there. Cosgrove and 82 also on the stop for Northern. That's Jason Deegan.
Give credit to Cosgrove. He got out there quick, Eric.
Pass complete, but for no gain. It's now 3rd down and 17.
That Cosgrove kid is a nephew of yours, isn't he?
That's my nephew, and boy, he's been a good one ever since he put the football helmet on. Approaching the 5-minute mark now. Double wideouts for Poyer High. Ball is given off to Johnston, and he just couldn't break the one tackle that was in there. Sam Bland and also 66, and that was the key tackle in there. Mike Bales had a hold of Johnston.
Yeah. And old Sam come up to say hello.
Pick up a 5, and it's long. It's a very obviously short for the first down. 4th and 12 now from their 32. Powell and Cosgrove will go deep for Northern. Johnston to do the punting for Poyer High. Good snap. Northern shows rush and just gets it away. Good high kick. Takes a Poyer High bounce and will continue to roll down inside the 20 at about the 17-yard line. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a 51-yard punt.
Johnson's been averaging 38 yards, Eric. That's going to help his average.
Excellent punting execution by the Big Red Special Kicking Unit. Northern now 1st down and 10 from their 18.
I want to tell you, I'm really impressed with this Andy Moore, boy. He gets down there on those punts, Eric. Took on that Cosgrove kid that we've been speaking quite a bit about, and then was able to down the ball.
Jameson's wide right. Hall is wide left. Whistle, stoppage of play. And timeout called by Poyer High. Looked like there might have been a little bit of confusion on the Big Red defensive unit.
Is who was supposed to be out there and who wasn't, Eric. That's what it looked like. And then I believe it was probably a heads-up play by Ryan Mullins calling timeout there, so there wasn't a penalty. Although those timeouts might be crucial at the end of this game.
Good point, Jim. Well, we want to congratulate the Poyer Northern Marching Band for a fine, fine performance at halftime in front of this capacity crowd at Memorial Stadium. And Mr. Christensen certainly deserves recognition.
Yes, Eric. Every time we've been here, for the last 4 years that we've been doing this telecast, Eric, we've always been entertained by these bands. They're a well executed team out there.
Well, Coach Semmelsberger says, come on, troops, let's just hold them in here and give our offensive unit a shot at it. Northern, 21, Poyer High, 7, have had poor field position, though, since the kickoff here in the second half.
Yeah, Eric.
Not to be denied, though, first half dominated by the Northern Huskies, both offensively and defensively, which is demonstrated on the scoreboard, 21-7. Ball's given off to Porty, and he cuts his way up front across the 25 out to the 26.
He's just a tough runner, Eric.
He's got such great mobility.
I believe, Eric, his dad is Jim Porty, and we played a lot of softball against Jim Porty. Very, very nice gentleman.
That's correct, and one of the best fast pitch catchers in the Blue Water area.
He sure was.
In his day.
Yep, he was a dandy. And still is, I'll bet you.
Pickup of 8 for Ryan. It's 2nd down now and 2. The ball at the 27. Dent and Jameson are the wideouts. In motion is Kovacs. Flag on the play. Whistle. And we'll see what we got.
Might be delay of game, Eric.
It appears to be delay of game called against Northern. That'll be a 5-yard mark-off. So instead of 2nd and 2, it'll be 2nd and 7. And that changes the whole complexity of the situation.
Well, you see what they wanted to do there, Eric. They wanted to run the ball with, give the ball to Porty and say, okay, you guys, you got to stop him. And now, like you say, that's changed it now, Eric, with 2nd and 7. You never know.
Hall and Jameson now are the wideouts. Jameson is wide right. In motion, Porty to his right. Pass complete for Kovac at the 29, 20, maybe 27, depending on where they mark the spot.
Looks like they're going to mark his knee down, possibly maybe a little bit short, Eric. That's what it looks like.
It's 3rd down and 1 now, 3rd and 1 for Northern. And a big play for both football teams.
Yeah, Eric, the Big Reds has got to stop them here, get that ball back to their offense and give their offense a chance to put some points on the board. Although they haven't been really successful doing it so far, but you got to give the ball to your offense.
Clock running, approaching the 2.5-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. Porty goes in motion to his right. Hanton looks right now. He tucks the ball. Ryan Mullins in on the stop, but let's see where they mark the ball, and it's going to be enough for a first down right at the 30-yard line. And Brian Hanton heads up.
Yeah, that was a broken play there, Eric, and Brian Hanton tucked it in and turned it upfield for a first down. Good play by Brian Hanton.
First down and 10 for Northern at their own 30. They move from our right to our left. The Big Reds defending the south end zone. Jamison is wide right. Hall is wide left. In motion is Kovac. The ball is given off to Kovac, and he's stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Good stand-up tackle by
number 83, Collins.
Chris Collins. Is that Chris Collins?
That's Chris Collins, Eric. He's a defensive end over there, Eric.
2nd down now and 10 from their own 30. Into the ball game for Northern is Henderson and Dent.
Chris Collins will be back next year, too, Eric. He's only a junior. 6'2", 189 pounds they got listed on the program.
In motion is Gladchen. The ball is given off to Porty, the fullback, off the right side. He's across the line of scrimmage. Duncan and Carmichael in on the stop for Port Huron High. Pickup of 3. It'll be 3rd down and 7 from the 33. Inside a minute now in the 3rd quarter, the Northern Huskies enjoying a 21-7 lead against their opponents from the other side of town, the Port Huron High Big Reds. This time, Porty goes in motion to his left. Hanton looks right, then throws left. The pass is incomplete off the hands of Jamison. And Dougie Warren almost picking off the loose ball.
Very close for Doug.
Clock will stop with 36 ticks to go in the 3rd quarter. 4th down and 7 now. And again, the Big Red defense has held the Huskies in check.
Yep. Again, as I spoke earlier in the telecast, the Big Reds has got to score and got to score quick, Eric, because that clock is going to be a factor.
Well, it's definitely a factor now with the Northern Huskies defensive unit dominating the offensive unit at this point. Good snap, Hanton's kick. And will go out of bounds at the 46-yard line. So pretty fair field position now for Port Huron High.
Real good field position for the Big Reds, Eric.
The ball will be marked at the 47. 1st down and 10 from their own 47. The chains are down. The kick was out of bounds, so the clock will remain stopped. 29 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Aaron Carpenter gives the ball off to Justa. That's Aaron Justa, number 42. And that's a new look for the Big Reds.
Yep. Justa comes out after a nice game there, Eric.
Pickup of 9. 2nd down and 1.
Justa hasn't played a lot, Eric, but when he has played, Eric, he's been able to carry the ball quite well. He's got an average of 7 yards per carry coming into tonight's game.
And the 3rd quarter will come to a close here at Memorial Stadium. The Northern Huskies 21, the Big Reds 7. Jim, 4th quarter action coming up.
Well, Eric, so far the Huskies has dominated. The Big Reds defensively has been able to stop them here in the 3rd quarter without giving up any more points. that's going to be a factor there, Eric. But the clock is against the Reds, and they've got to get going offensively.
Well, defensively, the Big Reds' adjustments at halftime are paying off. They forced 2 Northern punts in the third quarter, something they weren't able to do in the first half when Northern scored their 21 points. It's now up to the Big Reds' offensive unit, as Jim has mentioned, to get something going for the Big Reds. Obviously, the Northern Huskies defensive unit says, hey, wait a minute, guys,
we're not done playing yet.
That's right. And give that Northern defense credit. My goodness, last week, 6-0 over Eisenhower.
Oh, beautiful job by the Huskies.
Carpenter looking, throw, pass, complete to Johnson on a screen to the left. Good running room. Johnson out in the flat will be brought down by Andre Powell, number 42, but not before he reaches the 25-yard line. And just like that, the Fort Huron High Big Reds are 1st and 10 at the Northern 26.
Well, Eric, they had the field position, they had the down marker, and everything going in their favor to be able to give the Huskies a surprise. 2nd and 1, Eric, where they had the chance to show a pass or a run, and naturally that opened it up, made it a very impressive play.
Out of the I formation, Johnson's the ball carrier off the right side. Big hole across the 20 down to maybe the 17-yard line. Pickup of 8.
Yeah, give credit in there to Joe Gilbert and Bill Williams and Ron Franklin in there, Eric, for opening up that hole on that right-hand side.
Into the ball game for Fort Huron High is Aaron Justa. We'll see what the Big Reds have up their sleeve. 2nd down and 3 from the 19. In motion was Justa. He's still on his feet as he fights his way down inside the 50, close to a 1st down.
Kind of a broken play there for Justin, and all of a sudden, I think he kind of quit, and then Aaron gave him the ball, and he says, well, the heck with it, I better run with it.
Well, I think he started a little bit early, but he was in motion legally.
Yeah.
And it's a 1st down for Fort Huron High. 1st and 10 at the 10. The chain markers are down on the side of the field, meaning that Fort Huron High is 1st and goal. Carpenter off to Justa on the counter, and he's stopped cold at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a pickup of 1. It'll be 2nd and goal now from the 9. Into the ball game is Jason Carrier, number 49, for Fort Huron High. Well, the Big Reds punch this in, Jim, to make things interesting.
They're right back in the ball game now, Eric. If the defense can, give them the ball back.
In motion goes Gilbert. The ball is given off to Joe Johnston, the hard-running fullback for Fort Huron High. He barreled his way down to the 5-yard line, where it's going to be 3rd down and 5, and that's going to be a 3rd and tough 5 yards.
That's going to be a tough 5 yards, Eric. Anytime you get inside that 20-yard line, it really, really gets tough because that grass shrinks up on you a little bit, Eric.
9:36 to go in the 4th quarter. Northern 21, Fort Huron High 7. The Big Reds knocking on the door. The defensive unit of the Huskies guarding that south end zone. Pitch goes to Johnson. He cuts his way down close to the 3, where it will be 4th down. Carrier into the ball game, which we would assume to be the offensive play called by the Big Red coaching staff. It's 4th and goal from the 3. 4th down and goal from the 3. And now Fort Huron High appears to be taking a timeout.
A little bit of confusion there.
Had to make sure what was going on down there. 8 minutes and 51 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. 4th down and goal now from the 3. And this, Jim, you don't want to make too big of the situation, but possibly one of the biggest plays of the season for Fort Huron High.
Yeah, Eric, this is a big one here. They needed to get it in. And I think it was a wise timeout. If there was some confusion there, Eric, this was the time. Granted, again, those timeouts are very, very important at the end of the game. But geez, you hate to give up 6 or 7 points, Eric, because of some confusion. There seems like there's been a lot of talk on there with Rodenbaugh, Weymouth, and Coach Law.
This game, ladies and gentlemen, we hadn't mentioned it up to this point, and we apologize for that, but this is for the Brick Fowler Memorial Trophy, awarded annually to the winner of this game between these two crosstown rivals. And I'm happy to say that CPHS Channel 6 award-winning camera crew will stick around at the end of the game for the presentation to be made at the conclusion of the ball game.
Yeah, you're right.
Here we go. 4th down and goal from the 3. The Northern defense digging in. Carpenter rolling to his left, looking in the end zone. Is he going to keep it? He tucks it in, and he is. What is the signal? Touchdown, Port Huron High. A little bit of delay on the part of the officials down there. Perhaps maybe they wanted to just make sure that he did make it into that far corner.
They couldn't see for sure, but that official might have got knocked down over there because he was jammed in that corner there. So it's hard to say just exactly why. A little bit of a delay in the call. Now the thing is, do you go for 2, you go for 1, and they got the field goal kicker out there. Oh, they're going to call the final timeout.
And Port Huron High will call what we feel is their 3rd and final timeout here with 8:41 to go. Northern 21, Port Huron High 13. And that, Jim, a 53-yard drive. Aaron Carpenter on a 3-yard end around for the touchdown.
Well, Eric, that was kind of an impressive drive for the Big Reds. They haven't been able to do it all game. And that's got to give them some momentum going, Eric. At least a little bit of confidence on that offensive team.
8 plays unofficially, 53 yards. Aaron Carpenter on a 3-yard end around. And cannot overlook the Big Red defensive unit holding the Northern Huskies in check and giving the ball to the Port Huron High offensive unit in good field position.
Yeah, but then again, Eric, you never know when you look at as far as from the Husky side. Coach Delkey wasn't taking any high percentage plays in there neither, so it's hard to say. Now with the game within striking distance, it'll be interesting to see what Coach Delkey does with his offensive unit and what the Big Reds defensively can do.
Well, here we go. Port Huron High lining up in an offensive formation, and they're going for 2. Carpenter rolls to his right, and he is going to be stopped cold by Norman Cosgrove, number 31. And that is a key defensive play for the Port Huron High Big Reds. 2-point conversion attempt is no good. The score will remain 21-13. Flag on the play. It'll be assessed on the kickoff to whichever team is at fault. And it appears to be against the Northern Huskies, possibly unsportsmanlike conduct. Anyway, the officials will sort it out with 8:41 to go. The Port Huron High Big Reds are back in the ball game, 21-13, Northern by 8. Well, a key situation now, both for the Northern offensive unit, Jim, and obviously the Big Red defensive unit.
Yeah, Eric, we have the Port Huron Big Reds coaching staff next to us, and there's a lot of excitement over there in that booth.
Okay, the kickoff now will be done from the 45 following the 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct mark-off. Deep for Northern is Cosgrove, Hampton, and doing the kicking for Port Huron High is Matt Scheffler.
Eric, it very well could be an onside kick coming at him right here.
Scheffler onsides it. The ball is rolling. It's still loose. And it is, let's see what we got. It could be the Big Reds or the Huskies, depending on what the officials rule.
Well, Eric, depending on what they say there as far as control and so forth, Eric, the ball has to travel 10 yards before it can be called a fumble. But now I'm not sure, but where the markers went down.
Yeah, they're going to mark the ball down where Port Huron High first touched it, and it did not go the 10 yards.
Yeah. And so consequently, I believe it's going to be the Huskies' ball right there.
Not a bad play selection by the Big Red coaching unit, and you called it right, Jim.
Yeah, not bad for the strategy, Eric, because, Eric, they're kicking off on the 45-yard line. If they don't execute the play, they still do not have extremely bad field position, except the ball didn't quite travel the 10 yards, so they didn't really come out with what they wanted to come out with.
Clock running, 8:18 to go, fourth quarter. Kovac in motion, power football up the middle, Porty. Porty picks up 5. We'll call it second down and 5 from the 44.
And Coach Delke, you can almost see what he's going to do, Eric. He's got an 8-point lead, and he's going to run on that clock, Eric, and run as much time off that clock as he possibly can and try to keep the ball away from the Big Reds' offensive unit.
And a key situation, too, Jim. The Big Reds with no timeouts left now here in the second half.
Very, very big part of the game right there, Eric.
In motion is Glatchen, and flag on the play. Ball's given off to Porty on a power off the left side.
I think we probably got encroachment on the Big Red side.
We'll see what the call is. Offsides, encroachment against the Big Reds. It'll be a 5-yard mark-off. Should be a first down.
That's what it is, Eric.
No signal yet. Now they've given the signal. First down and 10 for Northern at the 50-yard line. And with 7.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, the Big Reds defensive unit facing a critical situation here. First and 10 at midfield. Glatchen in motion, and again, it's power football straight up the middle. Porty powers his way across the 50 and barrels down close to the 45. It'll be second down.
Just hard-nosed football on Porty's part, Eric. He's taking that 205-pound frame of his and just will not be brought down.
7 minutes now. 7 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Second down and 5 from the Big Red 45. Northern moving from our left to our right. The Big Reds defending the north end zone here at Memorial Stadium. In motion now is Gladchen. Hanton looks to his right. Throws incomplete. Pass intended for Henderson. Underthrown. It'll be third down and 5 now for Northern. I'm sorry, Chris Hall was the intended receiver.
Now, Eric, it really brings up a play here. I really expect the Huskies to put it in the air for that 5 yards line. Look for a quick slant in. That's been successful earlier this evening. Let's see if they'll do it again.
Well, Henderson and Jamison will be the wideouts. Jamison will be far left. In motion is Kovac. Hanton looks to his right, being pursued. The ball is thrown and caught by Kovac.
Not enough for the first
out of bounds at the 43-yard line. You're right, Jim. Not enough for the first down. It will bring up 4th and 3.
Interesting, Eric. I believe Coach Delke will go for it, I think. No, maybe not. Looks like he might be sending his punting unit on. And again, Eric, as we talked about earlier, those timeouts could really be a big play here for the Big Reds. They're a big consideration, anyhow.
Hanton lining up in punting formation. Joe Johnston and Marlon Ashford are deep for Port Huron High. It is a fake. The ball is given off to Porty. He's got a lot of room on the left side. He's going to go inside the 20, down to the 50, picks up a block, inside the 10, down, first and goal for Northern. And what a play call by the Huskies on the other side of the field.
Yeah, Eric, that was a razzle-dazzle, and it was executed extremely well. And I want to tell you, it caught the Big Red's defensive unit, or the punt receiving unit, completely by surprise.
Well, here we go. First and goal from the 8. The Northern Huskies up 21-13, knocking on the door. Jamison and Henderson are the wideouts. Ball's given off to Porty straight ahead. He fights his way down to the 5-yard line. And I can see Coach Delkey when that play was in progress, and he was jumping up and down on the far side of the field. You could not help but see the jubilation. What an excellent call, excellent execution on the part of the Northern Huskies.
It was just beautiful the way they executed that play. And again, they had the Porter and Big Red's receiving unit completely by surprise there.
5 minutes, 20 seconds and counting, fourth quarter, second down and goal from the 5. And now Northern wants to talk things over. A little bit of confusion on the offensive side. So timeout on the field. Our score, Northern 21, Port Huron High 13. Gives us an opportunity, Jim, to acknowledge the efforts of our crew here tonight, the award-winning crew here at CPHS Channel 6. Director is Charlie Cincy. Good job, Charlie. On cameras tonight is Shelley Guernsey, Chad Lindsay, Amy Goodman, Christian Ritus, Dennis Williams, and Daniil Zadral. And the Chiron operator tonight, Jim, is Nancy Osborne. It's always a pleasure to be part of this crew.
Oh, it is, and they do an excellent job, Eric. You know, when I came here, and I was here early this evening about 5:15, and just shortly after that, the crew came in, and it was raining. But it didn't dampen them at all. They were setting up to go. And I want to tell you, this crew here, Eric, the weather does not scare them away. Excellent job, crew. Very proud to be a part of it.
Well, they're here well in advance of most people here at the stadium. And you know, Jim, by the time we're home and relaxing with a cold one, they're still here packing things away.
Yeah, I know it. They work hard. But they get paid well, don't you guys?
Okay, second down and goal from the 5. Northern knocking on the door with 5:14 to go. They could just about put it away here. Let's see. Porty straight ahead, stays on his feet, fights his way down close to the goal line. Anthony Edwards in on the stop. Third and goal now from the 1.
Well, Eric, now look for the pass. I believe they'll throw. I just have that feeling that they'll throw. They've been showing run, and I think now they'll pass. But then again, look for a possible rollout with Hanton where he will roll out with the option of throwing or running.
We have an official's timeout on the field and equipment adjustment. Well, exactly what we expected, Jim. A lot of excitement tonight. Very hard hitting. Past years, maybe not as many penalties as we've seen tonight, but all in all, very entertaining ball game for the fans here at Memorial Stadium.
It has been very, very exciting, Eric.
The ball's given off to Porty, and the Northern Huskies are showing touchdown, and it is the Northern Huskies. Ryan Porty again on a 1-yard plunge. That's his third touchdown of the night. And the Huskies go up 27-13 with 4:32 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Well, Eric, they say it's never over till the fat lady sings, but she's going to start singing pretty soon.
Well, that's if you're a Big Red fan. The Northern Huskies, though, celebrating right now with a 27-13 lead. And Hanton's kick out of the hole to Jamison. Good snap. The kick is up. Plenty of height. Let's see. And it's good.
It was a chip shot with a sand wedge.
And Brian Hanton is successful, 4 out of 4 so far tonight. 28-13 for the Huskies late here in the ball game. You know, Jim, the Northern Huskies have just seemed to improve every week, and I'll tell you, this Big Red team coming here tonight was not going to be a pushover for this team.
No.
And Northern has been on a roll now. This is the third week in a row that they've won handily, or not won handily, but dominated the game really on both sides of the ball. And the Big Reds, struggling a bit the last couple weeks, seem to have gotten some momentum here in the second half, but down 21-7 at halftime.
Yeah, Eric, it's been an uphill battle when you come out 21-7, and then the Huskies is a very good football team. But you got to give credit for the Big Reds, Eric. They did not give up. They come right out in the second half and went right at them also.
Okay, Joe Johnson deep for Port Huron High along with Jeff Johnson, Yannick Christensen to do the kicking for the Northern Huskies. Squib kick. Touch now by Big Red. Johnson picks it up at the 20. Still on his feet across the 25 out to about the 27-yard line where Port Huron High will take over first down and 10.
Now where the Big Red's offensive unit has got it, Eric, now, you know, they're really at a handicap now because Huskies knowing that they have to put points on the board and put points on the board fast. They're going to be able to play in a preventive defense, and it's going to be tough to score. They might be able to do something with the short stuff, but as far as anything deep, I doubt if the Huskies are going to give up anything deep.
Cosgrove showing blitz. Now he steps back. Aaron Carpenter looks to his left now, throwing deep, intended for Johnston. The ball is incomplete. Out of the hands of Johnston, almost picked off by Powell at the 40-yard line. Clock will stop with 3:57 to go to bring up second down and 10 now from the Big Red 28.
A good throw and pass there, Eric. The defender from the Huskies, number 42, came across and knocked it out of the way there. But again, Eric, it's going to be very, very tough to throw deep against the Huskies now because they're not going to give up anything too deep.
Out of the I formation. McIntyre and Gilbert with the wideouts. Carpenter showing pass, throws complete. The pitch to Johnson. He's got one man to beat. That's Powell. That's on the old flea flicker play. Across the 30 down to about the 27-yard line.
And I tell you, the Big Reds.
A flag on the play.
Whereabouts was it, Eric? Way back.
Way back. Let's see what the call is.
Oh, it might be against the Huskies because it looks like they're going to.
It's going to be first down and 10. That's the preliminary signal. And maybe it was just an inadvertent flag. At any rate, the play is going to stand. The old flea flicker play. Port Huron High showing a little innovation. Now first down and 10 from the 28 of Northern.
And a pretty good call there, Eric, because with them being in that preventive defense, it makes that flea flicker open up just a little bit more, as long as the offensive line will give Carpenter time enough to throw that. Oh, now they're walking it off, so now I don't know what this is going on, Eric. Let's see if we can get what that penalty was. It could very well be personal foul. I'm wondering what that was all about.
It is, well, the clock will start now with 3:45 to go. It must have been a personal foul of some kind. The ball marked off after the play had stopped. The ball marked at the 14 now of Northern. First down and 10 for Port Huron High. Ball given off to Aaron Justa. He crosses the line of scrimmage. Maybe a pickup of one.
Port Huron offense there, Eric, trying to catch them into a pass defense and hoping that they could do something with the run there. But the Huskies shut it down.
Out of the I formation with Justa the tailback. Carpenter rolls to his right, now looks left, throws incomplete. Pass intended for number 30, I believe, for Port Huron High. And that is Terry Miller. Incomplete. The ball marked at the 13. Third down and 9 now. Clock will stop. 3:06 to go.
Aaron's been having a little trouble throwing that particular, throwing through that particular pass pattern, Eric.
Wing T alignment. Nope, now out of the I. Ashford the tailback, Johnston the fullback. In motion is Carrier. The pitch goes to Ashford on the left side. He beats one man, crosses the 10, now down to about the 8.
And he fumbled there and went out of bounds. It'll be interesting where that ball went out.
It's going to be fourth down. The ball out of bounds. The clock has stopped with 2:55 to go. Fourth down now 4th, and it looks like a long 2. The ball is marked at the 6-yard line.
There's no time, and that clock's running. Oh, maybe not.
The clock has stopped. The ball must have been out of bounds.
Right.
Well, again, a key offensive play for Port Huron High. They've had a few of these 4th down situations. Carpenter gives the ball off to Johnson, straight up the middle. Nothing's doing, says the Northern defense, and they have held here on a critical part of the ball game. And the Huskies will take over 1st and 10 at their own 4-yard line. 7-yard line.
Yep, 7-yard line, Eric.
Actually, loss of 2. It'll be 1st down and 10 for Northern with 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go and counting. Matt Gladchen now into the ball game, appears to be taking over the quarterback position. 2-40 and counting. Northern 28, Port Huron High 13, and their dominance over the Big Reds appears to continue. They will hold on once again to that Brick Fowler Memorial Trophy.
Well, Eric, I see that fat lady sipping on water.
In motion is Kovac. Gladchen rolls. He still has the ball. Being chased now by Schultz. Gets away from Schultz. Got one man to beat. That's Edwards, and he finally knocks him out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. A pickup of 15 yards for Matt Gladchen. Number 14, he's a 5'10", 177-pound sophomore. Out of bounds, the clock will stop with 2:17 to go.
That was the only good thing that happened to the Big Reds.
And Port Huron Northern has called a timeout. Coach Stelke now substituting freely on the far side of the field. Northern 28, Port Huron High 13. We'll recap the scoring here. Early in the ballgame, following a big turnover, Joe Johnston goes in from 1 yard out. Matt Scheffler's kick is good, and the Big Reds lead early 7-0. Northern went on the attack in the first quarter. 40 culminated a 58-yard drive on a 1 yard run. Hanton's kick tied it at 7. Following an interception by Norman Cosgrove, Jamison received a pass from Hanton for 17 yards. Brian Hanton's extra point was good, and Northern led 14-7. In the second quarter, a 98-yard drive. Ryan Porty, 1 yard on the touchdown. Hanton's kick was good. Northern led 21-7. Aaron Carpenter scored on a 3-yard scamper in the third quarter. The PAT attempt was no good. And Porty on a 1 yard run here in the fourth quarter. And that's been the scoring so far. Northern 28 and the Big Reds 13. Both teams now substituting freely here in the fourth quarter, with Northern hanging on to that 15-point lead.
Yeah, they're going to get as many kids in as they possibly can, Eric, which is really, really nice, because I want to tell you, a lot of these kids that don't get to play regularly, Eric, they justly deserve so, because they're there for practice every week, and without those backup men, Eric, it would be very hard to have a football program.
And what a thrill to play in front of 6,000 fans at Memorial Stadium.
Oh, that's for sure. The lights on and...
Lynch is the ball carrier straight ahead. Flag on the play after the tackle. Pickup of about 3. Should bring up a third down situation. Now a personal foul will be called against Port Huron High, and that will be a big one. 15 yards and a first down for Northern.
Yeah, it's pretty frustrating out there right now for the Big Reds, Eric. They're down. They can't get the ball back. The clock's against them. They played their hearts out, Eric, and they're coming up short, and that's frustrating.
Well, Port Huron High next week will host Utica Ford here at Memorial Stadium in the final Macomb Area Conference League game for the Big Reds. They will finish the season also here at Memorial Stadium against none other than
the Vikings.
Vikings. Northern on the road next week against Sterling Heights. Approaching the 1 minute mark now. Flag on the play. And we'll see what the call is. It's delay of game against Northern, 5-yard mark off. It'll be 1st and 15 now from their own 39.
Wilson into the ball game, number 61, Eric.
Number 61 is Scott Wilson. He's a 150-pound, 5'11" senior. 103 and counting, the Northern Huskies. Celebration ready to begin on the far side of the field. Their dominance over the Big Reds over the past few years will continue at least for another year. Gladchen gives the ball straight ahead to Lynch, the fullback. Eric Gladwish, the ball carrier for Northern. We're going to rely on the voice of the Huskies on the other side of the field. John F. Brown calling the plays for Northern.
He's been doing it for many years.
And what's his favorite saying? You got to love it. You got to love it. And they do love it here at Memorial Stadium. If you're a Northern fan, 28-13 right now, enjoying the lead over the Big Reds. Gladchen off to number 39 for the Northern Huskies. That's Dave Muzzy.
He hasn't played much tonight, Eric.
Inside 20 seconds now. And a jubilant celebration to begin here at Memorial Stadium for the Northern Huskies. That was and could be the final play of the game, and the Northern Huskies will defeat the Port Huron High Big Reds by a score of 28-13, and they, again, hold on to the Brick Fowler Memorial Trophy, which will be awarded here in ceremonies at midfield to be presented to the Northern Huskies by Larry Manns, the Port Huron Area School District Athletic Director. Jim, your comments.
Well, Eric, it was pretty much all Husky ball tonight, Eric. Offensively and defensively, they were able to do what they wanted to get accomplished. Offensively for the Big Reds, they weren't really able to get it on track too much. The second half, they came out and looked like they might be able to get it started, and then the Huskies' defense shut it off. Defensively, again, the Big Reds didn't play too bad, except they give up 28 points, and that was just too many points to give up for their offense to overcome.
Again, our compliments to our crew for tonight. Larry Manns has been our producer. Charlie Sensi has been our director. Our camera crew has been Shelley Guernsey, Chad Lindsay, Amy Goodman, Christian Ritus, Dennis Williams, Daniil Zadral, and on Chiron was Nancy Osborne. Again, our compliments on another fine job. The CPHS Channel 6 award-winning camera crew. Well, the Northern Huskies now and the Big Reds will line up at about the midfield stripe for the annual presentation of the Brick Fowler Memorial Award, a trophy named for a gentleman who put many, many years of service into the community here in Port Huron. And in his memory goes to the winner of this annual clash between Northern and Port Huron High. Larry Manns, the Port Huron Area School District's athletic director, bringing the trophy to the 50-yard mark, shaking hands with Ken Semmelsberger, the defensive coordinator for Port Huron High, also shaking the hands of Coach Rodenbaugh, head football coach at Port Huron High. And now as he heads towards the Northern Huskies, a solemn but respectful Port Huron High team lined up in recognition of the Northern success. And Coach Craig Delkey now receiving the trophy from Larry Manns. Another fine season underway for Northern. A jubilant celebration here at Memorial Stadium. The Northern Huskies over the Port Huron High Big Reds, 28-13. That is the final. It's been a pleasure bringing you the ball game. For Jim Schultz, my name's Eric Rucker. Have a pleasant good evening.